Hello and welcome to this presentation about the Year 4 multiplication check. Important information about the multiplication times table check. The MTC determines if Year 4 children can fluently recall their multiplication tables. They are designed to help schools identify which children require more support to learn their times tables. There is no pass rate or threshold, which means that unlike phonics screening check, children will not be expected to reset the check. The Department for Education will create a report about the overall results across all schools in England, not individual schools. When the check will take place. There will be a 3-week window from the 6th of June to the 24th of June for schools to administer the check. There is no set day to administer the check, and children are not expected to take the check at the same time. All eligible children in Year 4 will be required to take the check. How the check is carried out. The check will be fully digital. The answers will be entered using a keyboard by pressing digits using a mouse or using an on-screen number pad. Usually the check will take less than 5 minutes for each child. The children will have 6 seconds from the time the question appears to input their answer. So at the end of that 6 seconds, whatever is in the answer box will be submitted. For example, if they wanted to type 144, but only type the first 2 digits, the answer submitted would be 14. There will be a total of 25 questions with a 3-second pause in between each question. There will be 3 questions to practice before the check begins. Specific arrangements for the check. Some children will be eligible for specific arrangements, ranging from color contrast, font size adjustment, a next button. This will work as an alternative to the 3-second pause to allow the children to move on to the next question when they are ready to. Removing on-screen number pad, having an adult to input the answers for them, an audio version, and an audible time alert. The check questions. Each child will be randomly assigned a set of questions. There will only be multiplication questions in the check, not division questions. The 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12 times tables are more likely to be asked, as these are considered the more difficult tables. The reversal of questions, such as 8 times 6 and 6 times 8, will not be asked in the same check. The children will not see their individual results when they complete the check. More information about the questions. The Standards and Testing Agency state that they are classifying multiplication tables by the first number in the question. For example, 8 times 3 would fall within the 8 times table. The table below shows the minimum and maximum number of times that questions may be asked for a certain times table. For example, there will be a minimum number of 1 question from the 3 times table with a maximum number of 3 questions from the 3 times table. Ways to support times table knowledge. Count and look for patterns. Understand that multiplication is the same as repeated addition. Remember that multiplication is commutative. Remember that multiplication is the inverse of division. Recall and utilize number families. Use different representations to represent multiplication, such as concrete manipulatives like multi-link cubes or counters, creating pictorial representations such as arrays. Counting will start before beginning to develop understanding and reasoning, but will continue long after, until all times tables can be counted through sequentially at speed. Counting using manipulatives should start with physical objects, for example shoes, socks, and hands, before moving on to counters. When children start counting in a new amount, such as counting in eighths, we should be given the opportunity to see visually what that looks like, to reinforce that 4 times 8 looks quite big compared to 4 times 6. Repeated addition. Repeated addition is knowing that 2 times 4 is the same as 2, add 2, add 2, add 2. Multiplication is commutative. For example, 3 times 2 is the same as 2 times 3. Children need to understand that multiplication can be completed in any order to produce the same answer. For example, if they know their 2 times table facts, but not their 3 times table, they could use 2 times 3 to work out 3 times 2. Multiplication is the inverse of division. Even though division is not tested in the MTC, it's important that the children have a strong understanding of the connection between multiplication and division. For example, 20 divided by 5 equals 4 can be worked out because 5 times 4 equals 20. Number families. Due to their commutative understanding, children should also be able to see the whole number families. For example, 4 times 5 equals 20, 5 times 4 equals 20, 20 divided by 5 equals 4, and 20 divided by 4 equals 5. Using known facts. For example, 4 times 6. If you know that 4 times 5 is 20, you know that you will need to add another set of 4 to the 20. Therefore, 20 plus 4 equals 24. By using known facts from the tables that the children are more confident in, they will be able to find answers with increasing speed. How we are supporting your child in school. Through the daily practice of times tables, through games, chanting and songs. Maths lessons supporting the learning of times tables. The use of TT Rockstar's sound check, which mimics the multiplication check. The use of interventions where necessary, as well as the relaunch of TT Rockstars to improve engagement. How best to prepare your child for the check. Remind them that the check should last no more than 5 minutes. If you want to go over times tables, then make them fun. If you're looking to support your child further with maths at home, there are lots of good websites with free resources. There's some great games to try. Climbing the stairs, counting in multiples. Play times table games verbally. Listen and sing alongs to times table songs. Take turns to say the times tables using different voices. Play maths games online. Finally, if you have any concerns, talk to myself or Mrs. Brown.